little bit about myself. Okay, you can see everything what I have done so far. So I have my bachelor's degree in physics back in India. I have done data analytics for business in Central College, and currently I'm also teaching in Central College as a part-time professor. I'm also part of GDG Windsor FS, one of the committee member, and you can find out all about my portfolio and all the links by scanning the QR code. Okay, so what I'm going to show you today, just a teaser of it. So it's fully automated web assistant. Okay, you can have it connected with MCP protocol, and you can do it like on PC as well. But right now you can see that now it's grabbing the information from the website, and it's sending me the information. So basically it's taking the information as an weather information and sending me as an email. Okay. So that's the whole thing which I'm going to showcase and how it works. Okay. So in today's agenda, we are going to see that why we need this kind of AI agents, why we need AI assistant, okay? And we will see what kind of tools we are using, how to set up on your own, and you will see the live demo how it works, and then we will have Q&A session. So first of all, whenever we are dealing with AI agents or AI assistant or AI chatbot, everyone is using Gemini or ChatGPT at this point, I'm sure, right? Right? So there are certain things your Gemini or ChatGPT can't do. Okay. It can search online, it can find information, but in most cases, information might be outdated if it's coming from the model unless you specifically ask it to search it online. So if you are looking for information, most likely the information might be outdated because model has been trained on certain information. It does not have up-to-date information. It cannot verify the information. If it's the latest information, it cannot do it. So you need a way to verify that. There are certain tasks you have to do it by yourself, such as filling the form. AI cannot fill the form for you. It cannot send a message on behalf of you. Although you can do it with API and everything, but not every application allows that. So let's say if you are talking about LinkedIn will not allow you to automatically post something. And why is that? There are certain rules. Like for companies, you can do it with API, but when we are talking about personal account, you cannot post something by doing some kind of automation because they will block you if they figure it out. Okay? And acting as a human. So AI can do a lot of things, but it cannot act as a human because of the certain guardrails they have provided as part of their actual instruction of LLM. So this will solve the whole problem of the acting as a human. Okay. So if you ask Gemini, ChatGPT, or anyone create a snake game in Python, it can do it very fast. But when we are talking about solving the captcha, it cannot do it. When we are asking that part, it specifically said it's a human task, so humans supposed to do that. It can do it, but it will not do it because they have said that you are not supposed to solve captcha. And if you are doing automation, most likely at some point it will showcase as a captcha that you have to solve this captcha. So that's the problem. So for today's tool, I'm going to show you how to use browser use. So browser use, it's an open source platform, open source tool. They have their own business as well, but the whole tool is published as an open source. So you can download it and use it as your own. It's just a Python library created with LangChain, and that does a lot of things behind the scene. And we are going to use Gemini. Why we are using Gemini? Because Gemini is free. Right? Everyone loves free. If it's not free, you have to pay it. Then people will think twice of doing that. But Gemini is free. Okay? It has very generous speed here. It might be taking that data to train the next model, but it's free. Okay? When we are talking about OpenAI it's technically free, but when you are talking about APIs, it's not free. You have to pay a certain amount of money. And same goes for any other model. You can self-host the model, but you need to have very high-end machine. So you need to have like 5090 GPU, which costs like $2,000, and who wants that, right? So for the prerequisite, what you need to know? Okay. You need to have Google account, obviously, knowledge of GitHub, little bit of Python, knowledge of self-hosting, knowledge of LLM, prompt writing, critical thinking, mathematics. It's all good, but you don't need that. You can just do it with following the instruction. You don't need to go in detail how this thing works. So if you want to follow the whole thing, I already have set up the project in my computer, but I will show you how to do it. So the whole instruction is there on my GitHub. So within this instruction, you can see that first we will go to their actual GitHub. We just clone that GitHub and we will just create a Python environment. Activate the Python environment at the required library. Okay. This is basic Python stuff. So if you know a little bit of Python, if you created a library in Python or something similar, this should not be surprising. This should be very easy to follow. So, and then it's using Playwright behind the scenes, so it uses browser. Okay. So let's see the actual demo. So I have activated Python environment and I'm just going to start a web server where this whole thing is hosted. Okay. Okay. So now it's working in localhost. So let's open it up. So that was the basic interface, how it will look. Certain things you can think of how to deal with it. So there are two things where it's going to use your LLM model. First one is going to be the LLM provider, okay, which model you want to use to do the task. And second one is planner. Okay. What does planner means? That how to plan this task. So in natural language, if you say that, okay, go to LinkedIn and do something. Okay. Now it understands that task, create the steps needed to do that task. That's where LLM planner will help you. And LLM provider is going to do that task on behalf of you. And different models will have a different result. Okay. Obviously, as far as LLM are concerned, every model has their own capability. The best result you want to get is going to come up from the anthropic models because they've been doing this for a long time. Okay. But I'm going to show you with Gemini 2.0, which is like not even a flagship model for like, it's 2-year-old model, okay? And it's still going to work. Okay? So I will select Google. I already have set up my API key. And if you want to do it, you can just copy paste it here as well and it works as well. Like you don't need to put everything in environment. But I have done that. So right now you can see that I'm using Gemini 2.0 Flash. Inside browser setting, there is Chromium it's going to use behind the scene. But if you want to use your own browser, you can do that. Okay. Why use your own browser? Once you use your own browser, you don't need to give the passwords or anything. So if you are using third-party browser, let's say Chromium in this case, you have to provide ID and password to put it in your application, which you don't want to do it, right? Most of the case. So if you are using your own browser, it knows where to go. So just for the demo, I'll use my own browser. And for the task, go here. And we will let it do this task. So it's going to go to my LinkedIn and post saying thank you dear first lender. Okay. Let's see. And I refreshed it, so it's Google. use my own browser and run Gemini. Instructions and submit the task. And my both hands are here, you can see how it works. Okay. It will take some time obviously because it's understanding tasks, it's doing things, even though it's using Gemini API or OpenAI API or any other API, it will still take some time. Okay. So it has started working. Okay, this is my LinkedIn. And every time it works in a different way. Sometimes it does not get to the same point in the same instruction because it tried to understand the whole thing by itself. This one is pretty simple instruction, right? So it just goes to LinkedIn, types something and just post it, right? It's simple task. But when you want to send mass email to someone, it might not work the same way. Okay. As you can see, it's posted, and if you go to my LinkedIn, you should be able to see that there is a post which says, "Thank you, that first London." So this is being posted by the browser user Gemini. Okay. Same thing, you can have a different task. I have given some example here. So you can ask it to put things in your grocery if you are using Uber Eats, which I'm sure everyone is using at this point. You can say add milk or add bread to my Uber Eats account by Walmart or by Freshco or any other provider you want, and it does it for you. It can even buy things for you as long as you are using your own browser, so it knows that where to find information. Or you can provide your credit card information, but I would not recommend doing that. Okay. So if you want to try out different example, we can do that here. So let's say find out current stock price summary for Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, and give it a bullet list. You can ask it to send it in an email as well. Okay. Good thing about browser use that you can also use it as an API. Okay. Why it's good thing? Because once you set it up as a self-hosted platform on your server, let's say you host it on Google Cloud for a reason, right? And now you can just give the instruction from your phone. You can just say, okay, add this thing to my list, and it can do it for you. There is additional steps to that, but it will do it eventually. Yes.
What's the part of each one? What do you use Gemini?
Sorry?
Gemini is like interpreting the video, the web platform. What does the browser do?
Okay. So Gemini. It's actually like there are models within the Gemini, right? So if we go to Google AI Studio, here we see that current Gemini model. So it's Nano Banana here, but let's say, okay. So you can see that there are certain models available. Right now it says Gemini 2.5 Pro. Okay. So Gemini, the Gemini Google.com, right, which you are referring to, its platform. Behind the scene, it's using the LLM model, which is called Gemini 2.0 or Gemini 2.5, 2.5 Pro. There are different models available behind the scene. So it's using one of this model. And if you want to use this model, you can go to AI Studio, get an API key, and you can generate a new API key. And this is totally free. You can see that it should say here free tier. Okay? So you don't have to pay anything. You don't even need to add your credit card information to create that. So once you set it up this project, let's say, I'll just give you a demo. So once you set it up this project, you are here. You go to Google AI Studio. If you just want to test it out, create API key. I'll just say new API, web test project, create API, and then you can just copy this API key. You can paste it here. You can paste it here, and then you can select the respective model you want to use. There are certain things like the demo which I am showing you right now, it's not a full version of it. So it does have a model included, but it does not have all the model included. So if you are using this project, you need to go to their actual repository and do the whole thing. For basic tasks, it's going to work fine. You will never have any problem, just want to use like basic tasks. But if you want to do something advanced, which is shown in their actual repository. So if you want to check out the demo, so what they are doing here, they are taking a resume, they are applying the job on behalf of you. This is very advanced task. If you want to do it, you need to set it up properly. Okay. Yes, question? Yeah? Yes, any other questions? No questions? Yes. Yes, so good question. When it comes to here, okay, when we run the agent, okay, when we provide the set of instruction, you can see that it gives you the screenshot of it and it also gives you the JSON format. So it decides by itself what you are supposed to do. So once it decides that okay, browser is running, the next task is to open the linkedin.com. Once it defines that linkedin.com is open, then it goes to the second step. And it also takes the screenshot of your screen as well. So it takes a screenshot of the screen and then decide that this colored image which we have, behind the scene, it is giving the idea that where to click or what to type. Yes, it's step by step. So you can see that everything is going step by step. And you can see the whole thing as a GIF as well, which we just seen here, okay, somewhere. So it gives something like this at the end of the day, if you want to recheck it. And why it does that? Because some people host it on the platform. So, and they give the instruction via mobile or somewhere else, right? And they don't have an actual browser. So they don't see that how it's working or why it's failing. So this one, it's a proof of concept. At the end, you can see that, okay, where it's failing, how it's syncing, how you can change its syncing, right? And behind the scene, you can see that it's syncing, it's deciding which task to perform. Okay. And instruction, it's not like as a prompt. The other information and OpenAI or any kind of chatbot, you have the whole prompt. You define the whole prompt, what to do, what are the steps. You can do it here as well. But it works without even providing the step. It knows what to do. It figures out. Yes. No. It uses Python, JSON, all those things behind the scene. You can get that information here as well. The whole project is in Python. And you should be able to get that information. Okay. If you just go to my LinkedIn and there is a project there, you can go there, or you can just search it on like browser using it will port. Okay. Yes.
Does it rely on the backend and the what is visible on the screen, or it just figure out by the?
It's only by the visuals. It does not go to the backend. So let's say if we are talking about LinkedIn.com, it does not access the LinkedIn.com API. If you are accessing the API, then it might be obvious for them to figure out that this is a bot.
And what if the element it is trying to find, it cannot find?
If it cannot find, it will try again. It will try it. There are certain limitations here. Okay. So agent setting, If you go down, there are certain parameters here. So it will try several times. If it cannot figure it out, then it will say it cannot be completed and it will fail. But now you have proof of concept where it's failing. So now you say, okay, this is where you have to click or this is where you have to go. You need to define that part if it fails in like very advanced scenario. Or you can try a different model as well. Like eventually, if you are using some high-end model which are designed for this, let's say the ChatGPT OSS model, the open source model, the recently launched one, they have designed their model to do all these tasks. It can do this task behind the scene. It's very lightweight model. Same thing, Gemini, it's not designed for this, but still it works great. And Anthropic model like Sonnet or Cloud, they are designed for that. So if you are using those things, most likely it will not have a problem. Another thing you can try, once you have instruction, if it's not working, go to any model and say create a prompt for this, and then it should create a prompt. This is very similar to ChatGPT operator. Okay. Anyone has heard ChatGPT operator? So ChatGPT operator, it comes with like Pro plan of ChatGPT. I'm not sure what they call it, Pro Plus, but it's like $200 per month. And this one is better than the operator. Yes.
If we think about the time complexity, and this will have lots of indication of the platform of APIs. So if we count the runtime complexity, what will be the output? Like it goes to the Gemini's runtime complexity, or it is just figured out by their own side?
It goes to Gemini.
It goes to
It goes to
Gemini.
Gemini, yes.
And if we select ChatGPT other than Gemini, it's the different time complexity.
Sorry?
If we select the ChatGPT instead of Gemini, it should be a different, or it's the same.
I didn't get the question, sorry.
I'm talking about the time complexity result. When you type a prompt for the result, getting that, and you select Gemini just for now, and if you select the same thing for the ChatGPT, so it will be the same time complexity will be appear,
Okay.
or it's a two
So
different.
yes, that part, it depends on two factors.
Okay.
First factor is how capable the model is. Because sometimes it takes time to understand the problem. Right now it's a simple problem. But when you have a longer problem, it tries to understand that part. So it depends on model to model. But second thing would depend on computer as well. Right now my laptop is not very high end, it's like 5-year-old laptop, but it works, right? And there are certain limitations when it comes to RAM, how much processor you have, all those things. But eventually, at some point, it gives own time frame. Like it knows that internet might be slow, so it might wait for like a couple of seconds before doing the next task, and that is decided by the Gemini. Anyone has done web automation with Python, Selenium? So if you are doing any kind of web automation with Python, Selenium, sometime you need to wait for task to happen because that particular website might not be loaded and the element which we are looking for, it might not be there. So all this thing is decided by it, the model. The end goal, eventually, it finishes the task. The time constraint, if you are talking about, let's say, I want to done it in 5 minutes, it might take 10 minutes. So you can do certain tasks with it, but if you want to hurry up, it might not be the best idea. Yes.
Can it be automated? For example, do something at at a specific time, or no?
Yes.
I have to run it.
There are certain layers of it. So let's say if you want to automate to do a task at a certain time, let's say you added certain groceries in the list and now you want to order it first thing in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Then you can connect this particular tool with API. So you can use third-party tools like Make.com or N8N or something similar, and then you can provide the time-based interval as well. So it will like work based on the time. Okay. But that's an extra step. It will not directly work as it is. Like you have to define it in a different way. But it's possible to do that. Yes. Yes.
So if you run this locally, is the information that it's scanning, is that private or is it?
Yes, it's a private. Yeah. The only thing is that when you are using API, it might not be private. Like the information will be private. It's not going anywhere from your laptop. But let's say if you are saying go to LinkedIn and say thank you with London FS, Vincent FS, whatever you want to say, right? When you say that, that information might go to Gemini, right? But it is not taking your any personal information like passwords, it's not taking any information from your LinkedIn or anywhere. But whatever information it's there, whatever information it's needed, it might use it. And if we talk about security, you might want to use your own model somewhere. So you can self-host it, not necessarily on your computer, you can self-host it on some cloud, like Olama model, or DeepSeek, or DeepSeek works fine as well. So either you can go with Olama, OSS, DeepSeek, and that should be moderately good result, and it should be like comparable to like more than sufficient results, better than Gemini. You can get it. Any other questions? Yes.
I need to know about this browser stuff. You just showed that it's a default of Google Chrome.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're using the Firefox. Like it's a little bit confusing.
The only reason I'm using Firefox right now because my default browser is Brave. Okay. So when I say here browser setting, use my own browser, that way it knows that which browser to use. But if something is open on that browser, it might have a conflict. That's why. But I personally prefer to use a Brave browser. But default browser will be Chrome. Yes.
Why you use that Brave browser?
Okay, I'm not sure I'm supposed to say it on camera, but I'm using Brave browser because it blocks certain things, such as ads. Okay, it's more privacy focused, that's why I use it. I'm not here to brag about Brave browser, but it's one of the best browsers which I have found. Other one is LibreWolf if you are into Firefox. Yes.
Do browser use can generate images and
Sorry?
can browser use generate images and follow up with that?
This one can generate images.
Using those Google LLM models,
Mhm.
is getting information out of that.
Okay.
That can this model?
Yes, it can generate images, but not the exact model which you are talking about. And like this browser use, it's only designed to automate things or working as your assistant. It's not designed for. It's not designed to create images.
It just cannot create images
You can do it. There is always a way to do the task, right? So if you want to do that, you have to take third-party applications or third-party help. Again, those things can be open source. Those things can be closed source. You can write your own code. So many things can be done. Since the project is open source, you can do anything. And it's under MIT license, as far as I remember. I have to check. I'm not sure, but it's under MIT license. So yes, MIT license. So you can do whatever you like. Okay. Yes. Anyone has any more question?
That
Yes.
have a history or not?
This one?
Yeah.
Yes, it does have a history. That's the whole point of it. That if something fails, you can go back and see where it has failed.
Maybe I can see that.
Okay. So for the history part, since my project is under music and web UI, inside them and inside agent history, you can see all the things which are done. So if I open anyone, I'm not sure which one to open because I tried a lot of things. Something like this. Okay. So I was just testing out to like if it can find out by itself like the best PC parts and then add everything to my list. Okay. That was one thing I was trying out, which didn't work well with Gemini 2.0. Okay. but it might work with entropy. I didn't have a time to test it out all the prompt, but majority of basic thing will work now. Yes. Question? All done? Okay guys, thank you very much.